All right, here we go. Hello and welcome again to another episode of All Tech Canada. This is Mo, and today we have the essential phone PH-1, which is PH-1 is actually a phone if you think about it. Uh, Anywho, so as usual, I'm gonna start with the specs, then go with what I liked when I was using it and what I disliked, and then bottom line recommendation. So this is actually one of the phones that I didn't reset to review because I really like it, and I might keep using it afterwards. So to continue on, the specs. Boom. Uh, Here we go. So the screen, we have a 5.7-inch IPS LCD display with the 1312 by 2560 resolution, which is approximately 504 ppi, and it comes at an aspect ratio that's not unusual, which is the 10 by 19 aspect ratio. Most phones nowadays, they come with either 918, 918 and a half, or 919 aspect ratio. This one comes with the 10 to 19 aspect ratio, so it's a bit wider than the other new phones that are coming out. When it comes to the internal hardware, we have Snapdragon 835 processor, 128 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and 4 gigabytes of RAM. And for the battery, we have 3040 milliamp hour battery. When it comes to the camera, we have a 13 megapixel. Uh, on the back side, we have two 30 megapixel cameras. One of them is a black and white one, and the other one. So here you go. One of them is a black and white one. The other one is the regular RBG. And up front, we have a 8 megapixel 2.2 f camera. And other features, we have ceramic back. However, I put a dbrand skin on it because the back was very slippery and it was falling all over the place. You know, whenever I put it on the table, it just slides out, and I hated that. So I put a dbrand skin. I usually don't like putting cases into my phone; they make them bulky. This is a nice compromise. It feels nice. Um, yeah, and it has no headphone jack, which is extremely stupid. And yeah, it has a snap-on accessory. So there's two pins right here. You can snap on the 360 camera and so on. Yeah, so I've been using this phone for a while, and I actually like it. Uh, and I might get back to using it because it's a really good phone. And here's what I think, why I think it's a really good phone. So to begin with, um, the uh, the design, the feel of the material used, it's really good. So first of all, it's very compact. It's a 5.7 inch screen, but it's very compact. It's the bezel, there's just at the bottom, tiny bit of chin. On top, there's just a notch where they put the front-facing camera. Um, and this is actually the first one that started implementing the notches. Um, and the material used, so it uses glass up front, ceramic at the back, and titanium on the sides. It's really nice. It feels solid. It's nice in the hand. When you're holding it, it feels nice in the hand. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to buy a case for it, because it was taking some of that nice feeling when you're using it in a case. Uh, what else do I like about it? Of course, the updates. Now, this one comes with, I think it came with Android 8 or 7, but still got updated till the latest update, which is Android 9 right now, with the May update. So with updates, it's getting the same updates as the Google Pixel. As a matter of fact, if you look at the specs, it's exactly the same specs as the Google Pixel 2, except the camera and the screen, which makes it really fast, really easy. You're getting the updates, and you know it's very similar to the Google Pixel 2 experience. Um, Now, there isn't really much to talk about the phone, really. It's other than the design and so on. Uh, it's a nice phone. Um, it's an Android phone, of course, so I'm not going to talk about all the uh, Android features. Uh, if I talk about something special about a phone, it's going to be for that particular phone, not for the entire Android ecosystem. So when it comes to, so that's the positive part about this one. Another one is the price. So the phone came out, it was around $699 US, but then uh, with time it got cheaper, and well, due to the slow sales, it got cheaper, and now if you look online, you can get it for well, they stopped producing it, but you can get a refurbished or a slightly used unit for about 250 to 280 Canadian dollars, so approximately 200 US dollars, which is a really good deal for the hardware you're getting with this phone. So now you're gonna ask me, okay, so you're saying the sales weren't that good with this phone, so what's wrong with it? And that's when I'm gonna talk about the negative parts about this phone. So the first thing is the screen quality. Now, yes, it's an LCD. I'm not a huge fan of LCD displays, but even when it comes to LCD, this isn't one of the good ones. It's decent, but it's not LG G7 quality of LCD displays. When it comes to LCD displays, I think Apple and LG make the best ones, especially with the iPhone before they jump to the iPhone X with the OLED. The screens on the 8 Plus, even on the XR, even though it's low resolution display on the XR, it's still good color calibration. No reflection, no weird colors when you reflect. You can see from the camera actually when I'm moving around the phone, the colors are shifting in color, and that's one thing you notice about the LCD on this phone. It's not the best LCD you can find. Uh, yeah, so you see, super red, kind of not super red. Another thing I didn't like about the screen when you're viewing things with bright colors. So I'm gonna try to show it here, but I'm not sure if you can. When you're seeing something that's very bright in color, you can actually see some horizontal lines on the screen, small ones. And this isn't just this unit. It's a common issue with. It's not an issue. It's a common thing with the essential phones LCD. It's not a very good quality LCD. It's decent, but it's not the best LCD quality. Yeah. So another thing that I don't like about this one is the camera. The camera is just bad. I can't put it in any other way. It's bad at night. Night shots are always bad and blurry. Day shots are always with me when I was trying to take, unless it's very well lit. It's always giving me a blurry picture or something that doesn't look good when compared to the Pixel cameras or Samsung cameras. The quality is not there compared to them. Now the OS is not the same as the Pixel one, so they're using their own camera app. And one thing I don't understand is why when the flash is on, HDR turns off. So if I want to turn HDR on, I have to turn off the flash. If the flash is on, like in this case, you can see HDR turns off automatically. And I don't know why, but they just do it that way. The software is not that great. The image quality are not great. Cameras in general on this phone are not that great. Neither the black and white, even though it has the black and white and the color sensor, two sensors that's supposed to help it in night shots. It's not doing a great job, neither at night nor during regular shot. When compared to any, even some mid-range phones, they can take better shots than this one. So camera, it's the weakest part, I would say, and I would say that's one of the reasons why it didn't sell very well. Because nowadays everybody cares about the camera on their phones because that's their main shooter. They don't use any other cameras, and having a camera that's bad for a phone, that would uh, probably mean it's gonna have hard time selling. Now the speaker at the bottom is mono speaker. There's only one speaker at the bottom. It's very loud, but when it's at the max volume, the sound doesn't sound very good. Same thing with the earpiece speaker. Now, I didn't get any problems with the reception on this phone, but when I'm talking to people, the earpiece is not as good as Samsung's or so on. It kind of feels a bit tinny when I'm talking to people, and I talk to people a lot on my phone. I don't use my phone to text and call only, and text and Twitter only, and so on. I use it quite often to make phone calls. So that's one of the drawbacks I didn't like about this phone. The call quality from the speaker grill is not very good at the bottom. It's loud, but when it's at max, it's annoying. It's not a very good sounding when it's at max volume. So we go to the bottom line of this phone. To be honest, for the price, um, it's still a good phone for 250 to 280 refurbished Canadian, which is about 180 to 200 US dollars. It's a very good buy. Uh, of course, if you mainly the camera, if you don't care about the camera, then go for it. It's a good bargain price. If you're one of those who care about the camera and having a good camera is an absolute must, you might be better using something like the Pixel 3a or 3a XL. However, these phones don't have the same processor. With this one, what the key feature, why I really like about this phone, why I really like this one is the snappy performance. It's pretty much Pixel-like performance when going through apps and so on. And to conclude, to be honest, this is a modern day Nexus phone. So back before Google started making their own phones, they used to make Nexus devices, and this phone reminds me a lot of the Nexus 5 that came out maybe 4 years ago or so. And same thing with the Nexus 4, Nexus 5. They always had the top of the line processor. They always had decent screen, not the best screen, and kind of average to mediocre cameras. The Nexus line, Nexus 5, and Nexus 4 didn't have any good cameras compared to the competition, same as this one. Actually, Google started focusing on the camera ever since the Nexus 5X and Nexus 6P, which came out maybe 3 years ago or so. But this is more like what you used to get from the Nexus 5. It reminded me a lot of that phone. Cheap price, excellent bargain, excellent performance, not very good screen. Now the screen is not bad. It's just it's not up there with the top players such as Samsung, Apple, LG, and yeah. So not the best screen. Average to mediocre camera. If you can live with those drawbacks, I would say go for this one. The performance and even though it got discontinued, Essential promised they're going to keep updating the phone. So that's one of the things you shouldn't worry about. The updates and so on. You're still going to have update going on for this phones, whether it's security update or so on. So yeah, great phone, great price, solid performance. Few compromises, but with the price, the compromises are they can't be taken as a consumer. Those small compromises. And with this, I'm gonna end my review again. So this has been Modabas. If you have any question, leave them down in the comments. Or you can tweet me at Altic Canada. I'm gonna write them down. Yeah, this has been Mo Davis, and I'm signing out.